Hi, I'm Lorie Coates, Behavior Analyst for Davis School District Special Education Department.
I'm Joceline Ruiz, also a Behavior Analyst on the BATE team.
And I'm Krystal Martin, also a Behavior Analyst on the BATE team for Davis School District.
And welcome back to the BATE to BATE podcast, where our team of Behavior Analysts talk about behavior in schools and share strategies and stories about responding to situations that may come up when working with students. It's so good to be back. Can't believe it's year 3 that we've been doing this.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, it's so exciting it's so exciting to be back and be able to share stories about this school year. Yeah, so how's the school year been starting out for both of you?
Very busy.
Yeah.
We started out with a list of students that we're working with right away. It's been very busy, but fun at the same time. Yeah, how about for you guys?
I feel the same, I feel that it just kind of started the year running and hasn't stopped yet, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer is nice. It's nice to get that break in, but
It is.
there does come that time when we just want to be out in schools and helping support students. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm glad to be back and looking forward to what we'll learn and see this year.
Yeah.
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 All right, so today we're talking about what ABA is and how ABA can be implemented in schools. Lorie, can you tell us a little bit about what ABA is?
Yeah, well, first, ABA stands for Applied Behavior Analysis, which is a science that's derived from principles of behavior, and its focus is on socially significant behavior and on observable and measurable behavior. Krystal, what does it mean to focus on behaviors that are socially significant?
yeah, socially significant behaviors allow students to access meaningful experiences and opportunities. Those behaviors may come through communication strategies or emotional regulation, social skills, anything that allows the student to become more independent. And these aren't just important for the student, but it's also important to their family members, peers, and teachers. Joceline, what are the basic principles of ABA that are used in school settings?
There are so many ABA principles that are used in school settings, and they're being used every day, but people just don't call them the ABA terminology. So I'll explain a little bit about what some of those things that you all are using out there every day are. The first one is reinforcement. And reinforcement is a strategy that we can use to increase desirable behavior. There's 2 types of reinforcement in behavior analysis. There's positive reinforcement, which is probably the one that people hear the most often. And with positive reinforcement, we are adding something to the environment that is going to increase behavior. So anything like your tokens, stickers, snacks, anything that you're adding to the environment would be, to increase positive behavior would be positive reinforcement. And the negative reinforcement would be taking something away from the environment to still increase behavior. So with this, I like to think about escape maintain behavior. So what can we take away that's aversive to the student that will increase positive behavior? So things like taking a break or decreasing the amount of work that they're required to do can help us increase those escape maintain behaviors little by little. There's also prompting, which is also used pretty often to have a student perform a desired behavior or skill correctly. So these can be things like assisting students hand over hand with a skill like writing. I've seen teachers use, like they'll highlight or they'll write in highlighter a sentence for then the student to copy with pencil. Other prompts could be verbal prompts, gestural prompts, where you're pointing to the desired action, or like even signaling a quiet voice could be a type of gestural prompt. And then modeling, scripts, or any use of like picture icons or other kinds of visuals like that are also prompts. And then we have functional behavior assessment, which is a process of understanding why a behavior occurs and we identify this by gathering and analyzing data about triggers and the consequences that are maintaining that behavior, and then this information can help us in creating those behavior intervention plans. Then we also have discrete trial teaching, which is a teaching method that breaks down complex skills into smaller discrete steps, and it involves that, it's called a discriminative stimulus, but really it's just a stimulus or prompt that you're given and then you're waiting for the response. And depending on the response, you would either provide reinforcement or you would provide corrective feedback to help that student engage in that skill. So is ABA only implemented by BCBAs, or are the principles used by other professionals in schools?
Well, with appropriate teaching, coaching, mentoring, all of these principles that you just talked about can be used by different staff in schools. We may use the reinforcement, definitely, and the prompting. Teachers are constantly using those types of strategies in schools. And then in some classrooms where you talked about discrete trial teaching, we may see in some classrooms where the focus is on daily living or communication or essential instruction, that those students may require discrete trial teaching, and the staff members maybe use those as well. So all of the ABA principles can be used by any staff member in a school. Krystal, how does it look similar or different than traditional ABA in clinic or home settings?
Yeah, in our district, the BCBAs, along with our RBTs, perform a variety of assessments. We're collecting data, both baseline or progress data. We consult with school teams to help them develop and support intervention plans. And we train staff on appropriate behavioral principles for use with our students. In a clinic or home setting, some of those strategies and services are going to look similar, but they're not going to focus on functioning in a traditional school environment.
Right.
And also, data-driven decision-making is a really important part of any ABA service. But in schools, that's no different. And we have a great data collection system that we are using to help teams look at the students' needs, look at their progress to know what to work on, and we use that as a data perspective.
Data is like an essential thing, right?
It's so important,
Yeah.
yeah, to make any decision.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Joceline, what does ABA implementation look like in Davis School District?
In our district, support comes from behavior analysts or RBTs or registered behavior technicians. And usually that support that we provide is temporary. One of our goals is to build capacity within each school. So we really try to focus on coaching and training teams to implement those interventions by systematic methods. So we try to fade that adult support gradually as our data tells us that we can start that process. Again, our goal is to get teachers to feel confident in being able to implement these, so we want to first model those skills and then have them practice them with coaching from either the BCBAs or the RBTs. We also consult on behavior plan development and implementation. We do lots of trainings throughout the school year for teachers and staff through professional development opportunities. We also have an ethics code that we abide to, so we follow not only that ethics code, but other legal and ethical rules and guidelines in our district, including special education laws. And we try to hold regular meetings with the teams that we're supporting. So the teams include the IEP team, so admin, the case manager, gen ed teachers, school psychologists, or other related servers that might be part of that IEP team. And then it's a lot of collaboration with school teams, and we do this by establishing positive rapport with teachers. Again, relationship building, we talk about that often, and that also is important when we're working with teachers because we want to create those positive relationships, share ideas, so that our coaching and communication will be more effective.
It's interesting, we are always talking about relationships.
Yeah.
Seems like that's where we always go back to whenever we discuss what we do as ABA professionals.
And not only with students,
Right.
but with
Staff.
with
It's
staff
so
as well.
important.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning into this session of Bait Debate. We're excited to have the opportunity to share these strategies or ideas with you. It was fun today to talk about ABA and how it looks in schools. We hope ideas that were shared were meaningful to you. We have many more topics on behavior that we will be checking in on this year to keep you and your educator friends reeled in. Remember that we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and Audible. Like, share, and we'll catch you next time.